Morning, all. All right, so we have 9 games in the National Hockey League tonight. Definitely quieter than a normal Saturday. However, it's been really noisy on Wednesday and Friday. So, yeah, there's only a certain amount of games you can squeeze into a small period of time. So, starting at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, there's one game on, and that's Seattle and Florida. Now, for Seattle, 6-13-1. It's been an up and down past couple of weeks for them, right? Couple of big wins, and then that loss last night in Tampa, which is completely understandable. Now they're in against the 14-3-3 Florida Panthers. This is the first time they're meeting the Panthers, and they meet again on January 23rd in Seattle. Noteworthy story on Seattle, Jaden Schwartz, 4 goals, 12 assists. His offense has definitely picked up. On the Florida side, nobody really talks that much about Forsling. When you're talking about the Florida blue line, it feels like Uyghur gets more attention. Ekblad definitely gets a lot of attention, rightfully so. But yeah, Forsling off to a pretty good start to the season with 12 assists. He's on pace for almost 50 points. That's not bad. So yeah, we'll see if he can keep that up and maybe throw in a goal here and there. Then at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, we have 4 games starting. So again, very quiet, comparatively speaking, with most Saturdays. We have the Buffalo Sabres and the Detroit Red Wings starting at 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern. They played November 6th. That was an overtime win for Detroit, 4-3. We'll see how it goes tonight. Buffalo 8-10-2, Detroit 9-9-3. This is the second of 4 meetings. They'll meet again on January 15th as well as January 17th. Dylan Cousins, 4 goals, 6 assists. So while Buffalo's definitely won more games than was expected to this point, Cousins has scored a little bit less, I think, than what was expected at this point. So if he really gets things going, maybe they get back to that 500 record. On the Detroit side, I keep seeing comments about, well, do you think they go for the playoffs or what do you think? I don't think Yzerman's concerned. I think that honestly, if Detroit goes on a run and gets in the playoffs, I think he'd be happy with that. And if they fall short, but you see that growth from the young kids like Seider and Raymond. Raymond with 8 goals and 12 assists so far. That's still a win. The example I would use is it's sort of like the last year that Chicago went where they didn't make the playoffs before they really became the Chicago Blackhawks. And we were 3 years out from seeing, I think it was 3 years between the last time they missed the playoffs and actually won the Stanley Cup. And so for Detroit, I don't necessarily know if it's 3 years away from a cup after this one, but it's that same sort of progression where even if they miss the playoffs this year, you can see that potential in them, that there's something big coming for them soon. Also at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, the Montreal Canadiens in against Pittsburgh. That November 18th game where Pittsburgh beat them 6-0, pretty humiliating. Montreal's going to want to go into Pittsburgh and rectify it. Montreal, those 5-15-2. It is a miserable season for the Montreal Canadiens. Pittsburgh's 10-6-4. On the Pittsburgh side of things, Danton Heinen, 6 goals, 3 assists for 9 points. Nick Suzuki, 4 goals, 11 assists for 15 points. And their final meeting, will be December 14th. Nick Suzuki have got on the board because there was a lot made of him being off to a slow start to the season when that took place. I think he's been fine lately. It's just the team itself, there's definitely some issues there. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific will also be the start time for the Oilers and the Vegas Golden Knights. So an early start in the city of Las Vegas. You'll have time after this game is done to get up to all kinds of trouble on the Strip. October 22nd, Edmonton won this matchup 5-3. So we'll see how it works out tonight. They meet again on January 14th as well as April 16th. Edmonton's 14-5, and one of the biggest reasons is Draisaitl. He and McDavid, huge force on this team. 20 goals, 20 assists for 40 points in 19 games for Draisaitl. Those numbers are ridiculous. On the Vegas side, Dodonov, 5 goals, 4 assists, 9 points. And he's been hot and cold, but that's how things have worked throughout the last few years of his career. So we'll see how things go for him tonight. Also at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, the Ottawa Senators trying to get out of this funk they've been in against the LA Kings. It feels like there's a lot of teams that have just kind of fallen off, right? And Ottawa being one of them. This is the last meeting between these two on November 11th in Ottawa. LA won this matchup 2-0. So Ottawa's going to look to get revenge for that. But again, it's just fallen off so much. They're 4-13-1. LA's 8-8-3. And they've got to be feeling a little bit desperate again. They went on that nice long winning streak, and now they've started losing again. Josh Norris, 8 goals, 4 assists for him for 12 points. I think he's had a decent season thus far, but there definitely needs to be more support from elsewhere in the lineup too for the Sens. Kaliev, 3 goals, 2 assists for him for 5 points. I don't think the numbers tell you how prominent Kaliev is in any game that he's played for the Kings. I think he's been, one of the more dangerous players on many nights, and I think the goals and assists are going to start to come. 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific is the start time between Columbus and St. Louis. Columbus, 12-6 on the season, coming off of the win over Vancouver last night, and they may feel like, hey, we won a game maybe we shouldn't have. The interesting thing is going to be, since Elvis plays last night, then it should be Korpisalo tonight, right? Korpisalo's numbers have been low. And so we'll see how it goes against a St. Louis team that it felt like they were springing back, and then that game with Chicago took place yesterday, and now I don't know. They're 10-7-3, likely to be without Perron, I would think, and we'll see how it works out. This is the first of 2 meetings. They meet again on March 19th. Jack Roslovic starting to get things going. 3 goals, 5 assists, and so we'll see whether or not he's able to keep the point totals rising on his side of the ledger. Buchnevich, 6 goals, 7 assists, 13 points, has been very good for St. Louis in the season that, so far, again, this had its positives and its negatives. I think the performance of Buchnevich has been pretty good. Then at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, the one game I've put an Akbar magnet on because it kind of scares me. Dallas is coming off of a really good homestand, right? They're 9-7-2. Now they're going into Arizona. The Coyotes are a hardworking team that showed against Edmonton. They can score a couple here and there. They can kind of make you scared. And who knows? They might have, if they'd forced overtime, they could have won that. They've proven that already this year. So while Arizona's record is 4-14-2, they've been better lately. Dallas is 9-7-2, but now they're on the road where they've had more struggles. This is the first of 4 meetings. They meet again December 6th, January 2nd, I should say, and April 27th. So on the Dallas side, Rope Hintz, who hasn't had the best start, but I think he's getting things going. 6 goals, 5 assists for Hintz so far in the season. Jacob Chychrun has started scoring finally. 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points. So the scorelessness that he was going through for the first long while of the season seems to be done. And so hopefully he keeps things going. I'd rather it wasn't against Dallas, but these things happen. Then at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific, the Nashville Predators in against the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche coming off of a tough loss. Nashville coming off of an emotional win. We'll see how it turns out. 11-8-1's the record for Nashville. On the Colorado side with that loss, they're 10-6-1. So their overall record's still very good. This is the first of 4 meetings. They meet again on December 16th, January 11th, as well as April 28th. Yossi, 7 goals, 13 assists, 20 points, off to a fantastic start to the season. Whenever I see like Norris, who's going to win the Norris, who's doing well, I really don't see Yossi's name very often. He should be seen as a threat for the Norris. If he gets 28 goals, if he gets around a point per game, he will be in the top 3 for Norris, I would think. Burakovsky, 6 goals, 8 assists. Easy to overlook him with all the star players in Colorado and all that. And, the shiny new toy that is Alex Newhook. And he is very shiny. Burakovsky is still a very solid point producer for them. 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific, the Winnipeg Jets in against Calgary. So it's a late start in Calgary. It's an early start in Vegas. And yeah, so we'll see how it goes for Winnipeg. It is really time to turn this around. They're 9-7-4 on the season. Might be worthy of doing a video on the Winnipeg Jets at this point. But they're in against the 12-3-5 Calgary Flames, who are trying to improve their home record. The homestand got off to a good start. We'll see how it goes tonight. This is the first of 3 meetings. They meet again on December 21st. I made up a new number. There you go, 31st, and April 29th. And so we'll see how the rivalry carries over from last season. These teams didn't like each other very much. Because teams in general didn't like each other by the end of last season because they'd seen each other a lot. Dubois is really showing how important he is. When he's struggling, so are the Jets. 11 goals, 6 assists, 17 points, but it feels like it's been more of a struggle lately for the Jets in general. Lucic, 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points. Nothing to see here, just Lucic on a 20-goal pace. He has been very good. He's throwing a bunch of hits. He's on a 20-goal pace. While he may never live up to that contract, he, like Okposo in Buffalo, has done pretty well this year. And I think it's okay to acknowledge that. And then Louis Eriksson now plays in Arizona. So there you go. But there you go. Let me know your winners in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.